Hey, well, thank you very much. It's great to be invited to speak to you about what is the largest, the most ambitious, and the most expensive exhibition that we have ever staged at National Museums Liverpool. It's an exhibition that covers 1,000 years of ancient Chinese history. So we begin our story in the 8th century BC at a time when China's divided into lots of different states, all competing with one another for power. And then we end our story in the golden years of the Han Dynasty, at a time when many of the foundations for modern China are actually laid. But sitting at the heart of our exhibition and the heart of our story is Qin Shi Huang, China's first emperor, and his unification of China in 221 BC. And of course, his now world-famous Terracotta Army, which many people describe as the eighth wonder of the world. And the exhibition has been a magnificent project to work on. We have 180 objects in the exhibition, which range in size and scale from the most beautiful gold harness fittings for horses to personal ornaments made of jade and gold. We've got massive bronze ritual vessels. We've got an entire jade funerary disc, which is the largest that's been found in China. We have life-size terracotta warriors, but we also have smaller soldiers and mounted cavalry from the Han Dynasty. We have a full-size terracotta horse, and we also have the largest gilded bronze horse that's been found in China. We have, what else have we got? We've got fragments of palaces, and we've got an entire tomb doorway as well. So there are some magnificent treasures in the exhibition. The show has been designed in-house by my own team, and we took Simon out to China to be inspired by the culture and by the sights and the collections he saw there. And he, back in Liverpool, has created a very dark, a dramatic space which we felt was suitable for the artifacts. And we've introduced touches of Chinese architecture to give it real atmosphere. But what we didn't want to do was for it to be a static exhibition. We wanted, right from the outset, to create an exhibition which would be quite innovative and engaging for visitors. And so we drafted in the help of Draw and Code. We obviously had to put our digital interpretation out to open competition, but I'm delighted to say that the contract was won by two local companies, Draw and Code and AdLib. And in a moment, Andy is going to speak to you, but just before I hand over, Andy and his team have basically brought the world of the Warriors to life in the exhibition. But I'd just like to say that it has been the most amazing exhibition for us. It's been completely transformational for the museum. It's exceeded our expectations. We're attracting over 2,000 paying visitors a day to the exhibition. We've sold already over 400,000 tickets. We will be extending opening hours so that we can meet the demand that we have. We've sold all sorts of corporate events on the back of the exhibition. We've had more than 100 corporate events. And we've been welcoming loads and loads of people up from London, which for me has been an absolute dream. And people have said to us that they saw the exhibition in London in 2007, but they believe that what we've created takes it to a new level. So without further ado, I'll now hand over to Andy from Draw and Code.
If you haven't had a chance to visit the exhibition, it is stunning. It is so beautiful, and they've done an incredible job. And if you haven't got a chance to go see it, you really need to go and see how wonderful. It's not just a standard exhibition that where you just see a very educational angle on exhibitions. They really transport you, and it feels like theatre. And it was wonderful to start working with Fiona and her team at National Museums Liverpool with AdLib, creating something where their ambition and their high watermark was setting an example to the rest of the world. They wanted an exhibition that would just be phenomenal, and people would really take something away. It's not just about being something really incredible for Liverpool, but something incredible for the UK. Fiona and her team at the museum really wanted immersive experiences that transported people to the time of the warriors and created and set the tone for the different spaces and the different items in the room. And we wanted to tackle it like you would see a film. So you get the title sequence and the introduction to China. And we wanted to create huge projection experiences to really set you in the mood. But we had this exciting opportunity to transport people to the tomb of the emperor. China hasn't uncovered this tomb because they don't want to damage the artifacts. So no one actually knows what this emperor's tomb looks like. There's a passage in all of history that is 2 sentences long that suggests what it might look like. And that is, it's a whole sky made up of pearls and emeralds, making the night sky exactly from the time. There's rivers made of mercury moving through the rivers by clockwork mechanisms, and then his tomb in the center made up of brass? Brass. But no one's seen this before, and the space we had was about the space of this floor. So we had to create, using a little bit of drama, theater, set design, projection mapping, and some really amazing work with 4 projections and holograms to try and recreate this space. I think it's a really, we wanted to have people leave the museum a little teary-eyed and think of it like you would going to Disneyland or Universal. Like, it's not just a museum experience, it's something you want to take your friends to and talk about and be excited by. But I think very much it's all in the visiting. So if you haven't been there, leave IFB or IBF after this and go and see it. Thank you. Questions?
Are there any questions for Andy or Fiona?
Hi, Fiona. Thanks so much for that talk. It was really interesting. I was wondering if there's been any interest from overseas. You know, here we are talking about international business. Has there been much interest from overseas to take that on tour?
Well, we aren't able to tour the exhibition ourselves because the material has to go back to China once our show has closed in October. But what's really fantastic is that we've had interest from museums overseas in buying the blueprint for the design of the exhibition. Excuse me. So that's something that we're looking at the moment. So there is definitely potential to sell our design services and to develop the immersive experiences as well. Yeah. Any other questions? We also have our own collections at National Museums Liverpool, and we've started touring those internationally. So we took our Wedgwood collection, which is one of the finest in the world, to Moscow in 2014. And we sent our Victorian paintings over to Japan in 2015. And we are sending this year our Greek and Roman collection over to Mexico. So this is a new field for us, really, a new venture, but it's something which is fantastic because it allows us to showcase the quality of the collections that we hold in the UK, but also in Liverpool. And I think what a lot of people don't appreciate is that we have a world-class museum service here in Liverpool. It's the only museum service in England which is funded by central government. And you know, that is just tremendous that every year we have 18+ million pounds brought into the city to fund our cultural attractions. And they are also the most visited group of museums outside of London.